YouTube, what's good? It's your boy Big Beard B, and we are back for another edition of Big Beard Business. Today we're hopping into something a little bit different than the world of fragrance, as I mentioned we would do here in 2022 and beyond. And I think this video today is going to help a lot of you out if you approach this video with an open mind, because I know a lot of you out there think about this, but you may not have approached this specific topic from this specific perspective. Today we're talking about not only how to get, but also how to keep the woman of your dreams from the perspective of a pimp. Now listen, I'm not saying that I am a PIMP, but I do know some people who have dibbled and dabbled into this world, and they bring a unique perspective to relationships. And in fact, I think if you apply the 5 things we talk about today to not only getting, you would also be in a strong position to keep the woman of your dreams. So again, approach this video with a clear mind, open mind, listen, and be prepared to put these tips into action today. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and get down to Big Beard Business. Now, the first thing he would tell you to do is to get your bread up, but not in the way that you're thinking. Now, I know a lot of you out there, when you hear get your bread up, you may be thinking that you have to go out here and buy a Birkin, get a Mercedes, etc., but that is not the case. At the root of things, having money does do a few things from a physiological standpoint, and that's securing that first need. Now, despite what you may hear on songs or you may see on Instagram and YouTube, not everyone is really about securing their personal bag first. It's like riding on the airplane. They tell you to secure your mask so you can take care of yourself before you can take care of others. And securing the bag or getting your money right is going to help with those physiological needs, i.e. taking care of shelter, food, clothes, and anything else that is needed in that standpoint, but not from the perspective that you have to take care of her. Is that if anything were to happen, you can provide the basic necessities of life. Again, you two are going in this together. If you're thinking of a pimp, traditionally the money is being brought to them. But if things go awry, you have to be able to hold her down just as she holds you down. So secure your bag first. Make sure you are in a good position to take care of yourself and present yourself in the best light. Because if you have the chances of getting the girl of your dreams, then of course she's going to want you to be around so she can brag and talk about you to her friends. Now, in the real world, a woman may say that she's looking for a man who is stable, and stability is going to be key here. Again, taking care of the basics of the day-to-day, the necessities of life is going to be key, and it's not anything that is out of reach or that they would be asking for too much. Now, of course, there are going to be women out there who really just want the bag because they want the bag for themselves. It's not a team play here. And if that's the case, and if that's the woman that you're chasing, then not only will I tell you this, but he's going to tell you this as well, is to avoid a woman that way. If a woman's going to say, hey man, you gotta buy me a Birkin, or I need the latest and the greatest of X, Y, and Z to be with you, then that is not the person that you want to be with, simply because we're just looking for the next big bag to come along and take your space. Now, stability in itself goes beyond just having the finances, but it also goes into emotional stability. It goes into safety and security. So make sure that you can provide those needs, secure your bag, and provide that stability. Now, the second thing we're talking about here when it comes down to getting and keeping the woman of your dreams is to be a man of integrity. Your words have to match your actions, because no one wants to be let down on a consistent basis. In this instance, you have to be able to speak your mind. You have to be able to be upfront and honest in terms of what you are looking for, what you will accept, and what you are willing to do, because people want to be able to feel that they can trust you. They want to know that, hey, if this guy says he's going to do this, he is going to come through. They just want to feel accepted. They just want to be able to feel that, hey, they can rely on you, and this relationship is a two-way street. And relationship advice aside, being a man of integrity goes far beyond just relationships. It is also something that's going to help you in your professional and personal relationships. So have integrity, honor the code, do what you say you're going to do. And the third thing we're going to talk about today is something that is extremely interesting, and it not only works in this scenario, but it's definitely going to help you throughout your day-to-day. Again, this is something else that can help you in your personal and professional life as well, and this one is having the ability to lead. Now listen, if you look at what the dynamic of a pimp's relationship is, leadership is key. You have to be able to provide guidance in terms of where this relationship is going to go. When you're able to take leadership in a situation without being controlling, it's an extremely attractive trait. You're able to set a path forward, execute on that path, and if things get rocky, things get rough, you're able to make quick-witted, decisive decisions to ensure that not only you, but those around you are safe and protected. In a woman's eyes, when they're thinking about leadership, they're thinking of things like, will you be able to lead a family? Will you be able to take control again in a stressful situation? Will you be able to remain calm in a stressful situation to ensure that there is an ideal outcome? Here's the caveat to this as well, because I know some of you out there who are thinking, hey, I'm the alpha assertive male. That's fine and that's dandy, right? But you don't want to confuse leadership with being controlling, because those are two different things and they will definitely result in different outcomes. All right, so be understanding in terms of leadership, and part of leadership is understanding when you need to release control, when you need to let someone else take on a situation because it's going to be the better, more ideal outcome to a situation, and that is the ability of true leadership. So again, don't confuse being controlling with leadership, because controlling can mean you are stifling your partner and stopping them from getting where they can be and being the best that they can be for not only you, but your potential family. The fourth thing here is something that you've probably heard before, and this one is EI, or emotional intelligence. In layman's terms, if you're thinking of something like this for the day-to-day, what that normal conversation would be like, this is more something along the lines of making someone feel loved and feeling like you have a place of belonging. Yes, a sense of belonging and true love within a relationship does wonders, especially if you're looking to make this thing a long-term situation and not a quick flip. Also, when it comes down to emotional intelligence, there's a saying that your chances of success are greatly increased if you have the ability to manage and control your emotions. And if you think about things in life, not only relationships, where things get fiery, people get out of control, it's because they lose the ability to manage their emotions. And this is interesting because my wife and I were talking about this the other day based upon something that she had heard someone say about hurt people, and about people being the better half, right? And here's the deal, and she made perfect sense when she said this, right? You need to be a whole person, right? Not a half a person. Two half people make one person. You need to come to a relationship emotionally sound. That way that person is also hopefully emotionally sound, and you can really forge this path forward in order to make things in the ideal situation. So be sure that you have some emotional intelligence. Be sure you have the ability to make someone feel loved and that you have a place of belonging, because not only does that help in that immediate relationship, it helps with that foresight in terms of how viable you will be as a potential spouse down the line when it's time to raise a family, if that's what you choose to do. And the final tip here, which is actually going to be like the number one thing, numero uno, and I remember it like it was yesterday in terms of when he told me this and what the specific situation was, and this will be between us. I can't give you all the game for free. And here's the deal, man. He said you have to choose who chooses you. And I know that may sound a little weird, right? But here's the deal. If you spend your days and nights chasing someone, trying to court them, and it's not going in the way that you feel it should, and it's been months or years of you trying to get this specific person, then hey man, it may not be for you, because when that does happen, when that opportunity is granted, if it's ever granted, it may come from a place of pressure, or hey, I'm just going to give this a try. This is not the person I actually want to be with, or I'm just killing a little bit of time until XYZ or this person frees up. And in those instances, you're leaving yourself to be hurt and open to some things that are not ideal. But in a situation when you find it where there's a mutual connection and you can put your best foot forward and they can accept you for who you are without putting on a front and acting like you're this person or this person, because what happens in those instances that they may really like, are they really falling in love with you? And if you can't keep those things up, well, you might put yourself in a position to lose the potential love of your life. Listen, man, you will not always be in a situation, whether you're at a high point of having income or if you're at a low point of income, things could always change. If you're on the bottom right now, you're trying to work your way up to the top, man, don't go broke trying to look rich, and vice versa, right? You may not want to put yourself in a position of being someone who's fronting, faking, etc. Allow that person the opportunity to fall in love with you for who you are. Now, this might sound interesting, again, talking about this specific topic and where these tips and tricks are coming from, but here's the number one thing that I want to say. In the instances where this particular person took your girl or knocked your chick, in terms of what they would say is because the pimp or the guy they were with failed in the areas that we discussed. So listen, that's a unique perspective. I would love to know your take on this. Do you think it's BS or are you all for it? Comment down below. Listen, as always, I'm your boy, Big Beard B. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Utilize these 5 tips into your day-to-day and see how that plays out. Until next time, tell a friend that we are back again. And before you get up out of here, do me one favor, and that's to hit the goddamn